It's sad, so sad, and it's getting more and more absurd. Sung by Elton John. So sad. Breaking news in the UK. Breaking news in the UK. Under the auspices of the Conservative government that's been re-elected, the Queen's speech, you know, the Queen of England, whose ancestors and even her recent progeny have protected paedophiles. Here's the latest breaking news in the UK. The people under 21 years of age will no longer receive housing support. The Queen's take is this: you should stay with your family. We're no longer going to give you support for housing. Well, guess what, Queen of England, Elizabeth? Not every child can stay at home. Maybe some of those children were raped by their parents. Did you get it? Now this gets worse. What the stores, you know, the rich stores in the UK were doing here recently, where they were putting spikes outside the windows of their stores so the homeless could not sleep outside their pretty stores. But some brave people went and concreted the spikes over. God bless them. It gets worse now, more absurd. Far more absurd. Listen to this. If you are found sleeping rough as a homeless person, you will get immediately £100 fine. If it goes to court, it will go up to £1,000 fine. Since when are homeless people going to find that kind of cash? And we, in so-called Christian countries, look at Hitler and decry him. What a ruthless man. And yet we in Christendom countries do exactly the same agenda. Like in the USA, if you're found feeding the homeless, you get put in prison in some states. Isn't that ridiculous? Are you proud to be a so-called member of a Christendom country? Are you? You see, if we are born again, a term that's very loosely bandied around, we are of no nationality, are we? Paul said, in Messiah there's no Greek, no Jew, no male, no female. It's all one man, female together. And think about this also, where people, Christians, celebrate birthdays. Why are you celebrating birthdays? If you've died to your old man flesh, why are you celebrating your old flesh? Just a sideline thought for you. Cheers. Nice drop of ginger ale. Beautiful ginger wine. Now, do you ever wonder why Muslim countries are sick about the pantomime going in so-called Christian countries, but they go to the other extreme where they cover the women up from head to toe? You see, we are supposed to be, Christian countries, what? A light to the world. Israel was supposed to be a light to the world, but they didn't become the light until Messiah came and drew people from that nation to him. Very few came to him, proportionately wise to the Jewish nation in its entirety. For example, when the Messiah ascended, there were upwards of about 500 brothers. That's a very small percentage of the Jewish nation witnessing his ascension. Would you agree? See, the disciples, was it in Matthew 24, I think, said, Lord, look at this beautiful temple. They were up on a hill. Look at this temple. Messiah said, well, I'll tell you now, guys, the days are coming. And they came 40 years later, when not one stone will be left upon a stone. And the Romans came 40 years later and smashed that temple. So you and I, for example, if we were going to a church, and maybe twice a week, how many homeless people do we pass? Do we have the Pharisaical attitude? Oh, God, I'm so glad I'm not like these scum, these Amharites. the word used by the Pharisees to describe the scum of the earth, the ordinary people. And I'm glad I'm not these Amorites. I go to church twice a week. So you go to your pretty building. How many homeless people do you pass? Now, don't get me wrong, I know many people do help the homeless. The majority don't. They don't. Isaiah says, the Father says through Isaiah, I'm sick and tired of your perfunctory sacrifices. This is what I want, for you to feed the homeless and take them into your homes. Are you proud to be part of a Christendom country? Do you describe yourself as an American or a British? Or have you been transferred into the true kingdom of the Father's Son, the Son of the Father's love? Paul spoke about this. Yep. So in the UK, if you're found sleeping rough now, you get £100, what's that, $150 fine immediately. If it goes to court, you'll get £1,000 fine. What's that, $1,500? Since when can the homeless pay that? It's going to get worse, folks. It's going to get far worse. The reason they impose this fine is because they don't want, in the UK, their pretty resorts contaminated by pieces of flesh sleeping rough. It spoils the pretty picture. Sieg Heil, don't you so-called Christendom countries point the finger at Hitler. You're under a Nazi regime right here, right now. The same regime that the people in World War II in Germany were under, because it's the same Father, Satan. We just want the nice, pretty people. Yeah. It's a sad, sad situation, and it's getting more and more absurd. We've seen nothing yet, folks. We've seen nothing. The Illuminati want most of the world destroyed. They've got their underground bunkers. Even the Watchtower Society, which I was part of for 40 years, until 3 years ago, have built underground chambers in their new complex, thinking that they've got some kind of security. Talk about beast system, man. Are you proud to be part of Christendom countries? The countries that approve of abortion. More babies in the USA, for example, have been killed through abortion than those who died in any war from the 1700s onwards in the USA. Have you thought about that? The USA has butchered unborn children far more than American lives were lost in any war. Of course, the Father will make sure they have a life in the future. As Jeremiah was told, I knew you before you were born, from the womb, before the womb, I knew you. So how do you view yourself? Part of Christian nations, Christendom? Or are you and I just another prick in the wall? Excuse the pun. Another prick in the wall. Pink Floyd, brick in the wall. In Ezekiel, the Father was looking for a man to stand up in the gap of the wall, to stand up for justice, but he couldn't find anyone. I don't call myself a Christian. I don't call myself British. I call myself a follower of the one true God, Yahuwah, and His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, who you call Jesus Christ. I have no nationality or no allegiance to any flag, country. And I'm disgusted with what's going on in these so-called Christian nations, and so are Muslims. Christendom is not the light of the world. It has gone into the dark zone. Stand out. Be separate. Get out of them, my people. Revelation 18 verse 4. Get out of them. That means every part of Satan's beast organizations, politics, religion, finance, etc. And we're told in 1 Corinthians 6 that if you do this, the Father will take you and me in, and we will become sons and daughters to the Father in his glorious kingdom, which will soon smash all of Satan's corrupt pantomime on the earth. And the earth will be transformed into a glorious paradise through the second Adam, who will be King of the world, the Messiah. Where do you stand on this? Where do you stand? Shalom.